All right, round two. My mom just interrupted me the last time. So, this is Act 1, Scene 2 of Hamlet, and this is Hamlet's soliloquy, lines like 129 to 159. So basically, in the scene before this, it's with him, Gertrude, and Claudius, and the lines right before it, Claudius is talking about how he's so in love with his wife, and all of this, and basically Hamlet's like being super fake about everything. He's like, yeah, everything's really good, and Claudius is like, cool. And then my favorite line in this whole thing is the beginning, where he's talking about how he says, and that this too sullied flesh would melt. And he's basically talking about like his skin, like it feels like it's crawling, and he just literally wants to like melt off his skin, and I think it's really funny. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead with this. And that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2, so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to satire, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Oh, why she would hang on him as if it increase of appetite had grown, but what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her gallied eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. So that's that little passage. So some of the themes in this one, I mean, it talks about it, it covers a lot in this one. But one that I want to just touch on real quickly was sexuality and like femininity versus masculinity a little bit. So the line that really sticks out is obviously frailty, thy name is woman. And he's talking about how he feels that his mother was like almost like so weak and frail that she hadn't been without a man for a month, even for a month or two, and she had to move on to the next person. It was kind of like her husband wasn't there, she had to go to the next best person that was available, which was her husband's brother, which is convenient. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is a little bit about revenge. At the very end, he says, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. This is kind of before he decides to kind of act mad or go insane. I mean, he is arguably, this is just my opinion, I believe that he like he pretends to be insane for so long that he becomes insane. This is kind of before all of that though. So I think that he's saying like, okay, I'll keep quiet, my heart will be broken, but I'll just keep quiet and keep on with what I gotta do. Yeah. So I think that this speech says a lot about Hamlet and how much he loves his father. This is one of the few parts where we really get to hear like a good, positive, like part of Hamlet where he's not like, I'm a crazy. Just like turned really Italian there. So yeah, it talks a lot about his father and sexuality, femininity versus masculinity, and a little bit about revenge. So see you later, skater.